Back on What Angel, this is episode 20 of season 3. Very excited to get into these last few episodes of the season and see what they're going to do to wrap this up and kind of set up season 4 as well, considering how the last one ended with Connor being alive. Bit older, safe to say. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what direction they're going to take that in. I mean, it ended with him literally pointing a weapon at his father, so I don't think he's particularly pleased to see him. Which I kind of expected, since it seems Holtz has probably raised him for God knows how long at this point, in a demon dimension no less, so I imagine that's going to have quite the impact on a kid, so we'll see what happens with all that, so that's very exciting. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see what more they can do with that, and the whole thing going on with Wesley as well, and how he may react to Connor coming back, how Angel and everyone's going to react to seeing Connor so much older. I do kind of like how we have Angel, who's kind of gonna live forever, and he's kind of never really aging, he's always supposed to look the same and everything, and then his son's kind of changed so dramatically in such a short space of time, whereas Angel's appearance is kind of frozen forever, seemingly. So that's kind of interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing this kind of new dynamic that's surely going to come about with Connor being around. So, very excited to see what they're going to do. Let's get into the next one. Well. No. What on earth? You don't need to jump. Whoops. This kid loves jumping. My goodness.
Angel, Peter Pan here does the stop.
I was going to say he was just like Peter Pan. You can't hurt your son. Please. That would be a fucking ballsy move. They bring him back, then Angel just cuts his head off. Maybe a bit too much slow motion. No. Connor. I was surprised he jumped onto something.
Start at the end of the line.
Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see him do more with this whole power thing.
Command you. Whoa.
Nope.
Okay, I got nothing. Actually,
The Deus Ex Machina is done from the last episode.
No, that's a door none of us is ever going to be knocking on again.
Yep.
I would have called, but I think you
Oh.
could just tell me.
You're going to offer me a job.
It's a shame, really. What happened?
Oh no, I don't want him with them.
Because
At least she wrapped it, that's nice.
the worst spot in hell is reserved for those who betray.
Oh.
So don't pretend you're too good to work for us.
Oh, don't join them. Wow.
Find him? Looks like we just
Jumping again.
Anything else we can do for you?
Yeah. Make the sun go down.
It's a big ask.
brand new, never opened.
What is with this kid and jumping?
An entire suit made of chamois. That's different. What are you wearing to the Oscars, my chamois suit?
He's not going to the Oscars, is he?
Want to know what else is scary?
Shit.
Me.
Nah, you're just a knob. There you go. Think happy thoughts. Oh! That was unfortunate.
Don't! Lisa, come on my way. Come on, we gotta go.
Oh my.
So you won't forget me.
Huh.
I'm sure Angel has regaled you with his many exploits.
Oh, he's tried all right. But I get so bored with all that Days of Yore crap. I mean,
The way you constantly speak of Angel.
it's because these last weeks have been so hard for him.
And because you love him.
I was worried that your affection for the Gruselug had waned.
Oh! Well, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is.
Oh, he was part of it. A lot of mayhem. Including a guy's ear sliced off as a trophy.
Yeah.
First in a hell dimension, okay?
So you ever play this?
It'll be dark soon.
Well, if he has an extra ear now, maybe he'll listen to reason.
Shouldn't we all keep...
It's kind of funny that, like, Earth, like the normal Earth, is going to be, like, so weird and new for him.
So you're really gonna kill Tyke?
He was hurting you.
Oh, it's good you didn't.
Why?
Tyke's a bastard, but cops are even worse. God, I love these.
A tool for eating.
Oh, no. That isn't for food.
No.
It's for this. I get it for Tyke.
Do not try that.
Connor's new to this world, alone, probably...
See, this is oddly sweet, but I don't think it's going to end well.
You're right. Parents should have to take like a test or something before they can have kids. And if they're drunks or idiots or evil, they should just be sterilized.
If they're evil, they should be killed.
Oh. Definitely raised by Holtz. How old is he? I don't know how to feel. How old is he? Oh my goodness. Oh, you don't need to eat her. Bloody hell. I hope Holtz had that conversation with him, but I also don't want to see it. It's interesting how he's immediately kind of been thrown into, like,
Sonny?
ironically, a hellhole. Oh. G.O.D.
Figure you have to be. Feeling like you traded in one hell dimension for another right about now, but if you just let me...
Yep.
Listen to me.
Oh my goodness. Looks like someone wasn't taught any manners.
Listen, Connor.
Stop calling me that!
My name is Steven.
It says that these things usually have a mate.
Like a friend?
You know someone else who can... Oh. I don't think Angel's gonna go for that.
Yes, we must always consider Angel. Angel is our leader. We must obey his wishes.
So, we're just supposed to sit here with a fissure from a hell dimension and...
He's learned passive aggressiveness.
Who can help us? I don't think so. I'm calling...
I do kind of like that Fred still wants to kind of work Wesley back somehow.
It's a good name. Not Irish,
I do like that he's not like forcing the Connor name. It's a good way of approaching it.
Don't run away from me, alright? I lost you once already. And that's what's important, you know? You came back to me. I want to know everything, son. My father told me everything. He told me all about you.
And how it's his fault you were in that hell dimension all your life.
Kills.
Do you leave that bit out?
What do you know about vampires? Decapitation. Stake in the heart. Daylight, fire. You forget anything?
Holy water.
Looks like this, son. That's what you are. It's part of what I am.
Yes, but not the whole.
Part I hope you'll be able to accept one day. You have to kill me first.
Well, that's a plan.
Oh boy. Oh dear. I know Connor likes jumping, but he also seems to like jumping to conclusions.
You may want to speak up, you see. I don't hear so good anymore!
Well, you shout loud enough.
I hope this pentagram wasn't some dark attempt to close the fissure.
No, that was a dark attempt to open one.
Do your work, Marge Simpson.
Something punched its way through. Something I really don't want to meet. Excuse me?
Yep.
Sorry. It's closed. Well,
Oh.
can you tell?
Ow.
Connor, we gotta get out.
I gotta get out of here.
Get out of ear, did you say?
Use me. Bigger. We'll make a better shield.
Aww. Ah, shit. Ah. He won't kill him, so it's fine. But you can trust him. Well, I think that place is going to need some new wallpaper.
You're not alone. You know that, right? Yeah. I know.
But I don't think he's talking about you. Holtz or Justine? Oh shit!
Hello, son. Hi, Dad.
Fuck. Okay, I love that episode. I thought it was fantastic. Definitely a lot of questions still to kind of answer as we approach the final 2 episodes of the season, which is cool. I said cool very strangely then. Cool. Like, how did Connor kind of punch his way out of that place? How long has Holtz been back on Earth? Did he come through when Cordelia and Gru got knocked out? Is that when he came out? Or was he already there before? How long has he been back for? How did he get back? What's next for them? Now he's really hella old. Lots to kind of unpack with that, and the fact that Connor knew where to find him. I assume they must have pre-arranged a meeting spot, so maybe they did kind of leave around the same time, or maybe they just agreed to something before Holtz left, whenever he did. But clearly Connor is still, or Stephen, still very much kind of alleged to Holtz, if you will, and under his spell and influence, I guess, because he's had quite a while, it would seem, to be taught that his real father's a bad man, blah 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 blah, he's pure evil, so I think Holtz is very simplified the situation then. But again, at the same time, you know, Angel did do horrible things to Holtz's family, and you can't take that away, but Angel isn't that same man anymore, and I don't think that's what Connor knows or understands, because I think Holtz probably left that bit out because it's a bit easier. And he really wants to kind of really hurt Angel as much as he can, so he's going to make it easy and streamlined when it comes to like, oh, I'll just make his son hate him. And that's kind of what he seems to have done, and maybe there's more to that plan still, since Holtz is back as well and very old. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what they're going to do with that, but I loved this episode. I thought it was so, so good. Before we get into like the main stuff with Angel and Colin and everything, Fred and Gunn seem to not have as much to do as some others, which is fine because, you know, they've had a bit of focus in the past. But Gunn had a few nice moments. He was kind of like asking Angel, you know, what else can we do for you, stuff like that, when he was hunting down Connor. I do really like that Fred still tries to bring up Wesley in conversation, like she's trying to ease away so they can like talk about that again, because obviously Angel doesn't even like the mention of Wesley's name right now. The fact that Wesley's still very much on her mind and she's still kind of thinking of him, I think it's actually kind of sweet and wholesome, because she doesn't just want to leave him in the lurch, I don't think. Because, you know, she told him what he kind of needed to hear, I guess, at the hospital a few episodes ago. You know, she really kind of ripped into him, quite rightly so for the most part. But, you know, I don't think that was her like giving up on him in a way other people seem to have had. I'm kind of disappointed that Cordelia doesn't even want to hear it out Wesley's side, considering everything they've gone through together. That was kind of, that doesn't quite sit right for me, but I guess I can understand it because of exactly what's happened to Angel and how awful, how the whole situation is. But I don't know, I kind of wish Cordelia at least had a scene with Wesley at some point, and by now I feel like she would have at least tried to contact him, even if it was to just say, piss off, I never want to speak to you again. I feel like she'd at least make that contact. So I don't know, it doesn't quite sit right with me, but I also can kind of get it, so I can kind of look past it. But yeah, those two had some nice moments. I liked Lorne heading out and getting this witch woman, Marge Simpson hair, who actually seemed quite cool. I liked the comedy of her switching around all the place, and it was a bit of an anticlimax for her, just boom, oh, it's closed, okay, bye. But I don't know. I don't think that was the big meat of the episode. That wasn't the big problem we were dealing with. They wanted to address the whole Connor situation, and that was the main focus of the episode. Because I hope they kind of expand a bit more on Cordelia's kind of power set as well. I like that she tried it and it didn't really work in this one to close the thing, but it was kind of a Deus Ex Machina at the end of the last episode, given that they haven't really explored it anymore in this one. Hopefully they do kind of explain exactly how that all went about and how that happened. I assume, it seemed to be activated when one of those invisible slug things touched her, then it zapped them all, but it did seem a bit oh, the episode needs to be over in 2 minutes, so Cordelia's an angel, goddess thing now. Hopefully they touch up on that a bit more, because it just seemed like a very easy and lazy solution to the last episode. I was kind of not really mentioning it because I thought maybe that could play a role in this episode, but alas. So hopefully they do expand on that at some point. But I did enjoy Cordelia and Gru and their kind of stuff as well. Again, they weren't the big focus of the episode, but they had some nice moments. I do enjoy Gru's passive aggressiveness. They are adding a few layers to him now. He's not just, Mr. Bland, because he actually has a character going on now, because he has this layer of jealousy and almost slight resentment towards Angel despite everything. Because of that fear and that insecurity that Cordelia was not that into him anymore, which is a very kind of relatable thing that people can go through. That fear of people not being as interested in you anymore, friends or girlfriends or whatever kind of going off you. So I kind of like that they added that, something relatable to him, so it's actually making him a realised character, which I don't think he was in season 2, which is why I wasn't happy to see him come back. But they're actually doing stuff with him, so that's good. We're on the up with Gru, I'm on board. So yeah, I liked their few scenes as well. Seeing Holtz at the end should be interesting. I hope they bring Justine back into it if Holtz is back. I hope that contacts her somehow, because it just seems a bit, I don't know, I feel like they can still do a bit more of the Justine thing to probably wrap that up if they're going to. So hopefully we see her again. I think that'd be a wasted opportunity if they don't, to see her reaction to Old Man Holtz. I could just imagine the film Logan, just that but with Holtz and Connor. That'd be funny. So yeah, everything that was pretty cool. Wesley and Lila was a very interesting pairing in this one. The fact that she offered him a job at Wolfram and Hart. I don't know if he'll take it. I hope he doesn't. So that's just another barrier, preventing him from kind of trying to work things out. But I don't know if he even really wants to right now. It doesn't certainly seem to be how he's going to go about things. So maybe he'll want to just create that distance between him and the rest of the group, just to make it easier, to not have to try and heal all those kind of wounds. If he just joins Wolfram and Hart, then he can just be the bad guy a lot of people perceive him to be in that group. So we'll see what happens with that. But I did enjoy those scenes and Lila going to all that effort to buy that book, or at least acquire that book somehow, have it all neatly wrapped, just to kind of call Wesley out on being don't you dare think you're better than us and that you're not, you haven't sunk low enough to work for Wolfram and Hart. So I did kind of like how extra she went to make that point. In fact, there's always a place in hell for people who betray. She clearly knows how to hit Wesley where it hurts, so to speak. I think that's probably a lot more painful for him than Justine slicing his throat was. So I think that's going to be an interesting thing for them to continue to do. And, it still allows Wesley to be in an episode even if he's not interacting with the main group. which is kind of a shame because he still feels great outside, and therefore he can't have a lot of screen time in an episode because he can't get really involved in the plot, which is kind of sucky. But hopefully once he finds out that Connor's are back and around, maybe he can help out and have a bit more to do that way. But nonetheless, I've really enjoyed his scenes, and maybe they're setting up him joining Wolf and Hart, which I don't know how I'd feel about. I'd have to probably see that play out if they were going to do that. My gut instinct tells me I don't want to see that, so I'd rather they don't. But who knows? Maybe he'll form like his own little group. I don't know. I could see him like recruiting Justine and all that maybe, and like hanging out with that lot. So we'll see what happens. But I did enjoy the Wesley and Lila kind of scenes, and I'm always happy to see more of Lila. So that was all good. Really enjoyed their little sequence together. And then yeah, obviously the main part of the episode was Connor kind of readjusting to things. I do think they went a bit OTT with the opening fight. Just too much slow motion for my liking. All that no, it just like a bit cringy for me. But I know it works for some people. If they'd only did it like one time, it'd been fine. But they did it a couple of times, and like, do you really need slow motion for a shot of a young man running into the sunlight at a building? I don't think so. I don't know if that's dramatic enough to be in slow motion, but they did it. But, you know, that was only really in the opening sequence, and they didn't really repeat it, so that was fine. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see a bit more of this whole dynamic, and I like that Angel wasn't completely like pushing this kind of his own agenda onto Connor in a way that Holt clearly has. He's like, you know, your name is Stephen. I am your father. Your biological father is evil. That's that. He's very like straight-minded in terms of what he's kind of instilled on Connor, it would seem. Whereas Angel was like, okay, I'll call you Stephen, but still call you son. Even if I don't call you Connor, I'll call you son because you are that. Trying to gently ease in. You know, no pressure, you can stay at the hotel with us. You know, you're not on your own. So I think that shows very clearly the different viewpoints Holtz and Angel have as to how to be a father or how to raise a son and their morals. Angel's clearly a lot more open-minded about that, and he wasn't pressuring, which is nice. And all Connor's life seemed to be was, you know, oh, I hunt things. That seems to be all Holtz has taught him to do. So maybe he hasn't had so much love and affection there. It's just been like Holtz has taught Connor to hunt things in this hell dimension place and taught him to survive in that way. Therefore, Connor has to feel this loyalty to Holtz because he's alive because of him, even though Angel was the one who helped bring him into life in the first place. But he wasn't around. But I don't think Holtz may have mentioned the fact that he was the one who uted himself into that portal along with Connor. So I don't know if all that comes out, maybe. But there was definitely clearly some... what's the word I'm looking for? Well, Connor was clearly torn between that two worlds, I think, very briefly. Seeing Angel take the bullet for him was pretty cool. And I think there's a way of getting through to him, and I think maybe he will kind of join the group eventually and have a proper like father and son bond with Angel, which will be really cool to see. Hopefully that's going to be what they're doing with it. But for now, Holt clearly still has a few more tricks up his sleeve, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do with that. But the fact that Connor I don't think is too far gone is kind of nice to know going forward. But still very excited for that story. And I like they kind of escaped this kind of hellhole, ended up straight away into another one, and Angel even said the same, similar kind of thing later on in the episode. And yeah, everything was Sunny and Tyke. I didn't need as much of the Tyke stuff, to be honest. I did like the scenes between Connor and Sunny. Maybe once I know how old Connor's supposed to be. Because I don't know, he just seemed really young and Sunny didn't seem quite as young as him. So the kissing seems a bit... I don't know how I feel. But if he's like a bit older than I'm kind of picturing him being, then it's probably fine. But I'll need some clarification on how old he's supposed to be, I think. But I do think those characters actually had some nice chemistry together, and I did like that he... I mean, I'd rather he not cut Tyke's ear off, and I'm sure Tyke wouldn't have wanted... You know, he would have preferred that not to happen either. But I did like they like defended her, so there are some morals in there. But I think the morals that Holtz has instilled in Connor are much more black and white than they probably should be. He's clearly not going to be opening up to all these different sides until he sees such a drastic black and white action like Angel stepping in front of a bullet to kind of protect Connor. You know, there's no other way you can interpret that. It's like, oh, this evil being, god damn it, he took a bullet for me, he must be pure evil. You know, it's not, it can't be that, so it has to be, oh, my father has actually saved my life there. So yeah, I kind of liked how that allows Connor to be a bit more torn, and yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far of him, because, you know, he literally had to grow up in a hell dimension with Holtz of all people, who, I guess it's nice in a twisted way that he did get the chance to like raise a child, but he didn't really want to raise the child. He didn't really care about hurting Angel, so he probably didn't raise the child in the way that he normally would have of his own family and his own flesh and blood, because this is how I can hurt Angel more. Because he probably had a long-term plan. I don't think he ever imagined him staying in Quaff forever with Connor. But yeah, I did like the scenes with him and Sunny. It's kind of sad what happened to her in the end and everything. And Tyke was a decent enough villain, I suppose. He was clearly like a one and done kind of thing. He was just there, I think, so Angel could show Connor, you know, you can trust me, I'll take a bullet for you, quite literally. That's kind of where they were going with that. But it was nice kind of seeing Connor like, oh, try these new flavours and these foods he hadn't seen before, and there clearly is some kind of moral instinct within him to do what is right at times, even if it is a bit too far, like cutting off the ear. Again, it's very black and white, you know, this Tyke guy's clearly evil, I will punish him and all his friends. But he doesn't quite get the blurred lines there, because clearly Sunny had a drug addiction. And we don't really know how that happened and how Sunny ended up in that position. So you can't truly judge her for that, because addiction is, you know, an awful, awful disease in itself. As we know from, you know, Glenn Quinn. So there's lots of blurred lines there that Connor clearly doesn't understand yet, because he hasn't lived in this real world. And I do like the idea of this guy who's been raised all his life in like a hell dimension, the very straight, narrow-minded kind of father figure, and now this, like, the average normal world for all of us is like this brand new alien world to him. So that's probably quite daunting. I think they were trying to get at that when him on top of the bus. I mean, some of the CGI backdrop and everything wasn't great in that scene. CGI Connor climbing on top of the bus was... but you know what, it is what it is. When did this air? Like 2001, 2002-ish? So yeah, on a TV budget no less. But yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see what they're going to do with Connor going forward. But, you know, I feel for the guy at the minute, because there's a lot to take in, and he's already kind of on like his first day back on Earth. The only memories of Earth he'll ever have, because obviously he won't remember being a baby there. He instantly kind of saw some of the worst of humanity and some of the worst diseases in the world with addiction, and a truly kind of human flaw in that we can fall into addiction like that. And it's such a hard thing to escape from. So the fact that he's already kind of seen something so horrible and human as that is kind of interesting when faced with his vampire father. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with all that, and where they're going to go with the whole Holtz and Connor connection. And I imagine he's going to side with Angel in the end, hopefully, but we only have 2 episodes left, so there might be a quick turnaround. We'll have to see what's going to happen. But either way, really, really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was great, and very excited for the ending with Holtz and where that's going to go. I actually really enjoyed the Connor kind of bonding with Sunny stuff. The Tyke stuff was okay. I didn't hate it, so that's better than nothing. And he was a decent enough villain for this one episode, and it was more so to make it about Connor and Angel's bond, so you can let it slide. I actually really liked the witch woman. I kind of wish we saw a bit more of that. Even it does feel a bit easy. It's just like, boom, things closed. Because they talked about how impossible it was to open and close portals before, but apparently not, because Lauren just had a friend. But still, that's not the main focus of the episode. And then, yeah, I love the Wesley and Lila scene and the connotations of what that could mean and where they could go with that storyline. So yeah, really, really good stuff. Very excited to see what they're going to do with the final 2 episodes of the season. I can't believe we're nearly done with season 3. We only have 2 seasons left after this. What is going on? We have like what? 46 episodes of Angel left, is it? Is that right? Assuming there's 22 in season 4 and 5. Yeah, 46. Scary. Might just push to the end of, or the start of next year maybe. Might even finish it this year. I really don't know. This is the quickest I've ever gotten through a season of Angel and Buffy at the same time, so who knows? I don't know, but we'll see. But either way, this is a fantastic episode. And yeah, this is obviously the end of the current Buffyverse cycle. The next cycle will be finishing off this season of Angel, so the next 2 episodes, and then we're back for Buffy for the 3rd one of that cycle. So yeah, very excited for that. Fantastic episode, really loved it. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.